What's up, guys? MMA Gamer here, bringing you another video. This video, I'm going to be going over sways in EA Sports UFC 3.
Sway. You ain't got the answer, Sway.
And we are going to be going over some little tips that you can use, how you can use sways more effectively, and, you know, avoid just getting knocked out with them when you use them, and try to understand them a little bit more. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that sub button and subscribe for more videos. Also hit that like button if you guys want to see more tip type videos where I talk about different little aspects of the game. And but in this video, we're going over sways. And sways, they've gone through quite a few different changes through all the patches, and they've always been kind of risky. When the game first came out, you could do a lot of moving forward sways, and sways were like a way bigger part of the game. But now, after so many patches, it's gotten to a point where I think I have a pretty good understanding of like when to use them, and some good ways and techniques you can use them with. For starters, if you don't know, there's pretty much 3 different types of sways. You can either duck forward, you can sway backwards, and you can sway side to side. And the way you sway is with the right analog stick, and you actually, you know, so side to side is you want to hold the up and down on the right analog stick, and to sway back you hold you know, away from your opponent, and to duck forward you would hold the right stick toward your opponent. And now out of these positions, out of these sways, you can throw counter shots just like that. Like for instance, I'm a Duho Choi right here in practice mode against Yair. If I sway to the side right here, I can throw a hook right out of that sway. So one of the advantages of the sway is actually countering off when someone you sway your opponent's strike, and you can counter with your own strike. And when you actually do that, you do get a damage boost, and you get a vulnerability, you know, boost, so your strikes are going to do more. And if you can actually land multiple sways and then land a counter, you get an even bigger boost. But it is hard to, and very risky, not only hard, but it's very risky to actually sway 2 different strikes and then do a counter. It's not impossible, but your opponent has to be becoming pretty predictable, and then you can get those type of sways. But so for instance, a few quick examples: you can do the sway back straight, which is a pretty useful, but it does leave you vulnerable in some positions, but that's just a thing. Out of the back sway, you can you know, land that straight. If you sway to the left, you know, you can do an uppercut. You sway to the right, I messed that up, you can do an uppercut as well. You can even do body shots, different body shots from if you're leaning forward or to the side. You know, you can throw a hook up top, maybe throw a body shot, body jabs. You know, you can do a lot off of the different positions. So you don't want to just do sways and, you know, only look to evade the strike. You want to actually look to capitalize on them, and look for them as offensive, you know, tools as well, because especially in the end of fights when the stamina is low, sways can really, you know, have fight ending implications just off single sway counters. Some really popular ones is just like the sway, you know, the sway left straight. It's just deadly, very effective at countering the hooks. So for instance, I'll record a you know, a player that'll most likely just do a 1-2. So we'll see what you can do if you just sway. So when you sway this 1-2, you can either go to the left or the right. But he's throwing 2 strikes, so you really have to do 2 sways to avoid both of these shots. So what you want to do is sway, just try to time it, and then move your head. Move your head back and forth, left and right, and that's what will avoid the jab and the straight. Now, I will go over some of the things. Let me just show you that little counter real quick. If you sway, boom. You know he's doing that jab straight. If they start spamming that, an easy counter to the jab straight is just a sway, boom. Sway to the left or to the inside, and then straight, boom. I mean, he is wasting his stamina now. Boom. See, but if you don't time it right and you're already swaying over to the left or right, the jab and the straight can still hit you. But I will be going over really quickly what each sway can dodge and what each sway will leave you vulnerable to. So basically, when you duck forward, you dodge head kicks because you're ducking under them. You dodge hook. You sometimes can dodge the jab straight at the right distance. That's the thing with all these, is it depends on the distance with a lot of things, because at different distances, some of the sways will have different effects, especially with the ducking and swaying backwards. Another thing that the ducking forward can avoid is overhands, and also any kind of like special spinning kicks that go to the head. The duck will dodge all those, and when you dodge those head kicks and stuff, you can land huge counters after those strikes if you can able to duck them, and they can knock people out as well. Another thing that ducking forward will actually help avoid is body kicks. So for instance, if I record my opponent throwing a body kick and press play, if I duck, it'll still land a little bit. It'll still do a little bit of damage, but if you're ducking forward like that, you can actually pretty much nerf most of the damage coming in, and really it just takes a little bit. Does a little bit of damage. You don't feel as much on the vibration on the controller either, so it's really not that much. So this is another good technique that I've been practicing to deal with a lot of people who throw a lot of body kick spam. You know, as you can see, it is slowly chipping away at my body, but it's not as bad, and you can actually avoid it even more if you actually like lean into it. I think it even does less damage if you lean into it to the side. And then what you're vulnerable to when you do a dodge, when you duck forward, are actually uppercuts. Because you're ducking forward, you're going to get blasted by uppercuts. So that's where you're vulnerable. That's where you got to be careful with ducking. And it's always just like a back and forth game where people are trying to figure out, you know, which way you're swaying and stuff like that. So if you get too predictable with your sways, with your ducking forward, you're going to leave yourself open to uppercuts for sure. Another thing is knees, whether that be flying knees or just the actual normal knee, just like that. The knee to the body. If you're ducking forward, you will actually get hit with this knee. Ducking is very valuable, especially the fighter's heights actually come into play with the sways as well in this aspect, because if you have a shorter fighter, you can actually get down lower, so you can duck. Your duck is a little bit more effective, and it's the same if you have a taller fighter. Your back sway is a little bit more effective as well, because you can back up further away. So that's a little bit of info as well, if you guys didn't know that. Next up, we're gonna go over the back sways and what they can dodge. And they can dodge hooks, they can dodge uppercuts, and they can sometimes dodge head kicks if you're further away and you have a taller fighter. They can dodge a little bit more things with that. They can dodge elbows. So ducking back is pretty good, but you are going to be open to body shots. Pretty much most body shots, you're going to be vulnerable to that. Another thing you're going to be vulnerable to is jabs and straights, because they can cover that distance, especially if your opponent has like a Nick Diaz or something like that. They can really cover a lot of distance with those jabs and straights, so it's very risky to throw back sways against those type of fighters. Also, the overhand and the jab overhand combination is what is going to catch you if you start doing that backsway too much, because they'll throw that jab and then the overhand will cover that distance and can actually still land while you're swaying back. So you don't want to sway back too much, and if they're throwing that overhand a whole lot, you actually want to dodge forward and you want to duck that overhand, and you can counter it. But anyway, that's the back sways. Next up, we're going to go over the side sways and what those do. They dodge jabs and straights. So if your opponent's just jabs straight like crazy, all you got to do is the side sways. Mix in a side sway straight to counter them, or a side sway uppercut or a hook. And, remember that you have multiple options to counter after the sway. You don't have to just throw a straight. You can throw a hook. You can throw a body hook. You can throw a hook to the head. You can throw an uppercut to the head, uppercut to the body. That's a little bit more advanced. That's actually another thing you're vulnerable with ducks is actually uppercuts to the body as well. I forgot to mention that. So yeah, the side sways, you'll dodge jabs and straights, and then the other thing that they do is if I lean away from it to the left, it sort of just it rolls with it. It doesn't do much damage, but it still lands. If I duck it, I mean, that time the timing wasn't right. Right there, see, it does no damage. If you time it wrong, the hook can still actually land. But here's the thing. If I side sway into it, watch what happens. Boom. It actually multiplies the damage if you sway into it. They will actually dodge uppercuts. Uppercuts pretty much won't be able to get you. Let me show you a good example right here. The thing is you don't have to sway all their strikes in the combo. So most people, say for instance, are throwing, they get used to throwing a certain combo, and maybe it's a 1-2. It's just a jab, straight, hook. So it's like a 3-punch combo. So they start throwing that. You don't have to dodge the first two. If you notice he keeps doing that, you notice he's ending it with that hook every time. He's ending the combo with the hook. All you gotta do is block the first two, and then duck the third. So it's boom, see? Boom, and then you can counter. Boom, boom, duck. It's just boom, boom, duck. And, you can avoid it. You can also sway back. Let me see if I can get that. Boom, boom, boom. Sway back. So you can even duck that and then land an uppercut out of the duck, like... Boom, just like that. You can even land combos out of the sway. So if I want to duck and then throw 2 hooks, I could do that by going... Boom, 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 boom. So you can land... You could land, jabs... you could dodge the first jab here. You time it right and you stop the whole combo, see? And then you can land combos off that first jab. Boom. Jab hook combo off the first sway. Boom, right there, just a jab straight. Duck to the side, side sway, uppercut. And this is like a common combination. I mean, I throw that combination a lot. It is an effective combination, but there's a lot of ways you can, you can just sway. Look at that, multiple sways. It's advanced to actually be able to sway, multiple strikes, because you kind of have to sway at the same timing as they're throwing the combo. All right, guys, that pretty much covers how the sways work and some tips on them. I'm now going to show you guys some examples of ranked fights where I use these sways in real time and break down some of my technique as I do it. All right, guys, we are going to be using McGregor. As you can see, his head movement stat is a 98. So that is pretty much cheese as far as that goes, but he is one of probably the best fighters to use if you are going to take full advantage of these sways, because he has, I'm pretty sure, the highest head movement stat. But anyway, we are going to go ahead and pick him and see what we can do. We are going up against Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Ranked action right here. I am McGregor. We're going to be trying to showcase some head swaying in real time right here in ranked. I did switch my boom. Now right off the bat, when I start the fight, I do not like to throw many sways. Now the reason for that is because you really don't have a gauge on your opponent. So at that point, when you really have no read on your opponent, it's very risky to throw sways because you don't know what strikes they're really going to throw at you, and you still have full health. So, you're much better off to use some other defense mechanics like blocking. And my battery's low right here. My battery's low. I just start off by using other defense mechanics like blocking at first. And as I can see right off the bat, now I see that he's throwing a lot of body shots. Now, if I duck forward, I can, he's not going to be able... See, and I even swayed toward that body shot, and it wasn't able to do damage. Now, I blocked that one. See, he keeps throwing them, so I'm going to time... I could either catch him, or I could sway, and he's throwing jab hook, and he's throwing body shots. I just ducked that head kick, but see, I didn't capitalize, but I got him with that hook, but I didn't capitalize at the right time because I really wasn't ready for it. I thought he was actually going to throw a body shot, but I wasn't ready for it. So right there, I ducked forward a little bit. I probably whiffed a little bit of the damage. It didn't land super clean. Now, those leg kicks, you know, the sways really don't, you know, you always get hit by any sway you're doing, you're still going to get hit by a leg kick. But let's see. Now, we could have ducked that one. Now, he's throwing head kicks now. He's throwing a lot of head kicks, which he wasn't doing. Now, we're getting the block. See, working the block. If he keeps throwing those leg kicks, the only thing you can really do with those is block them and try to check them. But see, I got a little sway right there. He keeps throwing the body kicks. I really want to try to catch one of those, maybe take him down. But right there, we timed a combo with McGregor, and we get a little bit aggressive at the end of this round. Not too bad. We're not even in the right stance. So he's throwing body kicks. I know he's gonna throw one. Boo, right there. Check the kick. Got him with another hook. See if I can use the sways. Bait him in. I rolled with it. All right, he's throwing hooks. I'm going to try to go for a ducking uppercut. I didn't. I wasn't able to time it right. I know he was throwing that hook, so I was trying to duck under. Yeah, right off the bat, you know, first round, don't get too crazy with the sways because you just, you don't know what they're doing. I know he's throwing a lot of body kicks. I know he's throwing a lot of jabs. So right off the bat, you know I can do a lot of ducks. If you sway forward a lot, you're gonna nerf a lot of those body kicks, and you're gonna force him to have to throw some different strikes. So that's another thing that the swaying can do. It just sort of can force your opponent to throw different strikes if they're not used to, you know, people swaying a lot. So let's see what we got here in round number 2 with McGregor. Opening up with the leg kicks. Now again, swaying really can't do, you still got to check your kicks, and that's the thing when you're actually using this stuff in a real fight. You have to string it all together. Right there, boom, the sway, dodge the kick. Now dodge that straight, dodge the kick again. And he's coming forward. I see he's coming forward. He's leaving himself open, so I'm gonna counter. What do we got for him? What do we got for him? He's going high. It's all good. Oh, he went high. I thought he was going low with that. I'm gonna look to counter. Oh, he's starting to throw the knee. He's starting to put the pressure on us, so I'm going to start to look to counter now. Catch that one. Boom. 1, 2. Easy. Body shot. All day with McGregor. Here we go. Oh, he got me with that. I didn't think he was going that way. All right, so I could swat it. I could try to sway into that body kick and counter with the hook. Just like that. Ooh, that caught me because I wasn't ducking. So that head kick caught me. So let's see what he's got. He's mixing it up pretty good. He's mixing it up pretty good. But gonna try to work some sways. I ducked into that to that kick. Start to work his body a little bit. Right there, we timed the counter. Again with the body. If he starts to throw a lot, that leaves him open for sway counters. Oh, and that keeps throwing me off. I keep thinking that's gonna go low. That time I went into it. you can side sway those knees. You can side sway counter those knees, and it's deadly. Very risky to throw some of those knees. So if he keeps throwing those knees, I can side sway it. Oh, he keeps catching me with that. I can side sway that front kick as well. Boom, right there. I caught him, but it wasn't the right angle, so it didn't land flush. Right there. Duck the head kick, counter with the hook. Off the sway. And he survives to the next round, but that was a perfect example. We might even get a replay of that. As he was going for the head kick, the sway counter hook. I'm surprised that actually didn't do more damage. I landed some nice shots. McGregor is obviously, you know, stat-wise, you know, pretty much the best in the game. So, you know, it's not really like a 100% fair fight here, but, you know, check out that beautiful boom, ducking under, utilizing the sway hook counter. And that is a deadly move. I have been knocked out by that, and I have knocked many people out by that as well. So those head kicks get very, very dangerous. They're effective, you know, high risk, but it's high reward, but it's also high risk. So right here, this guy's probably getting a bit. See, I dodge forward again, duck forward while he's throwing that body shot. He's going high with that one. I blocked it. Time a little combo on him. See if he's going to throw anything. Is he going to throw a head kick? Ooh, I messed up the sways. I swayed into him. Get a little sidestep. I might have to do another video on possible little sidesteps. Right there, get the sway. Boom, shot to the body off the sway. Starting to get some damage on him. Boom! Right there. I swayed into it, countered him with the hook. Out of range. I didn't even need to sway because I was already out of range. Side sway. I might try to get a sway back. Straight. He's very hurt. He's going to the to my right. Catches strike, but he's still standing. Right there, we get him. Is he gonna throw something? Countered him. Dropped him. Utilizing the sways. Oh, he catches it. But McGregor postures up. Poirier's got to do something. He's got to be down on the scorecards. He's got to think he's losing. Oh, he catches this one too. But McGregor gets back. Poirier. Big shots from Connor. Should we let him up? All right, we're letting him up. Oh! Oh! We tried to finish him off, but we didn't have enough time. But that was a good example of using the sways in a ranked match. I'm pretty sure I won that fight, but you never know on this game. We're going to have to wait to see what the judges say. Oh, some nice shots from McGregor. I dropped him multiple times. Round 3. Some clean work. Some clean work, but just wasn't enough. Almost was. But we are going to see what the official decision here is. What Mario Yamasaki. Great officialing right there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Also follow me on Twitter. There we go. Make sure to leave any of your guys' tips or any of your knowledge that you have about the sways down in the comments below. Head kick that like button. Till next time, this has been MMA Game. Peace.